So you got an offer on your house, but do you actually know how to read it? Because there's a lot more in that contract than the price at the top. And if you're selling a home in the Inland Empire right now, this video could save you from making a really expensive mistake. I'm going to walk you through exactly what to look at when a real estate offer comes in and what most sellers miss. Let's get into it. Obviously, price matters. That's not the issue. The issue is when sellers stop there. A high offer with bad terms can end up netting you less than a lower offer that's clean and straightforward. So the number at the top is just the starting point. Here's everything else you need to be looking at. First off, how is the buyer paying? Cash is the simplest. It typically has a faster close, no appraisal headaches, and fewer things that can go wrong. But if they're financing, take a look at the loan type. Conventional is generally cleaner to work with than FHA or VA. Not a deal breaker either way, but as a Riverside County home seller, you want to know what you're dealing with going in. FHA and VA loans generally have stricter property condition requirements, so you need to understand what those loan types require and whether your home is likely to meet those standards. Also look at the pre-approval letter. There's a difference between a buyer who sat down with a lender and actually went through their financials and someone who filled out a form online in 5 minutes. A real pre-approval tells you this buyer can actually perform. Next, how much is the earnest money? That's the deposit they put down with the offer. Typical in the Inland Empire is somewhere between 1 and 3% of the purchase price. Higher deposit means they're more committed and have more skin in the game. But if someone's making a big offer but putting down a tiny deposit, you'll want to pay attention to that. Now let's talk about contingencies. This is the part sellers tend to skim over, but they're really important. Real estate offer contingencies are the conditions that have to be met for the deal to actually move forward. The 3 big ones in California are inspection, appraisal, and loan. Okay, let's start with inspections. The buyer gets to conduct whatever inspections they are willing to pay for on the home. They will likely come back with a list of repairs or credits they want. Buyers are not waiving inspections right now like they were a few years ago. Pretty much every offer you get selling a home in Riverside County is going to have one. And a lot of buyers are using the inspection report as a second round of negotiation after they're already in contract. This is good to know going in so it doesn't catch you off guard later. Next is the appraisal contingency. If the home doesn't appraise at the contract price, the buyer can renegotiate or walk. If a buyer waives the appraisal contingency, they're saying they'll cover the difference out of their own pocket if the appraisal comes in low. Buyers can only obtain a loan for the appraised value, so it's important that you are pricing your home realistically. Also, it's common for buyers and their agents to offer a higher amount to win the deal and then let the appraisal bring the price back down. So again, a high offer amount doesn't guarantee that's what you're walking away with. Last is the loan contingency. Understand that the deal isn't fully locked until the buyer's financing is approved and that contingency is removed. This typically takes a few weeks and can be one of the last things resolved before the deal closes. You want to make sure your agent is in constant communication with the buyer's lender to ensure this is staying on track throughout the escrow process. Any delays or hiccups can easily derail a transaction. So the fewer contingencies and shorter timelines on those contingencies leans towards a cleaner offer. Another item to focus on in the offer is when do they want to close. 30 to 45 days is standard in California. If your situation calls for something different, that's negotiable. As I stated before, cash deals can get done a lot faster, but special financing or lending programs can actually add time. Additionally, when your property has an HOA or solar panels, for example, those transfers are separate from escrow and require other agencies in order to complete. So knowing these things up front will help you calculate a more realistic time frame for your specific situation. Also look for rent back requests. That's where the buyer allows you to stay in the home for a bit after closing. It can be really helpful if you need time to move, but make sure you understand the terms around it. And lastly, you'll want to pay close attention to seller credits and concessions. This one catches Inland Empire home sellers off guard more than anything else. Buyers right now are asking for credits way more than they used to. A credit toward closing costs or repairs comes straight out of what you net, even if the price looks the same on paper. And while you're running those numbers, don't forget commissions. After the NAR settlement changes in 2024, buyer agent compensation is negotiated separately now, but it's extremely common for buyers to still ask you to contribute to their agent's fee as part of the offer. If that's in there, it counts against your bottom line, just like everything else. And if you are lucky enough to get multiple offers, that's a great problem to have. Just don't rank them only by offer price. Be sure to run the actual net on each one. Price minus credits, minus concessions, minus commissions. 2 offers at the same price can look very different once you do that math. That's one of the most important Riverside County home seller tips I can give you today. So if you're selling a home in the Inland Empire and you've got an offer in front of you that you want to talk through, or just want to better understand what a solid offer looks like before you even list, reach out. I'm happy to walk through it with you. Plus, the blog goes deeper on all of this too. You can find the link in the description. And if this was helpful, hit subscribe. I put these out regularly for buyers, sellers, and investors all across the Inland Empire. Thanks, guys. We'll see you later.